Hello and welcome to Matt's Mosh Pit. And today I got to sit down with the one and only Nicol from the band Stellvris. It was just an amazing interview and I can't wait to show you. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown me and my channel with all the likes, the subscriptions, the notifications. It's just amazing having you guys as a part of this journey. One of the coolest things I think about having this channel is the fact that I actually do get to reach out and talk to some of the bands that I really admire. And so today was one of those. I was introduced to Stellvris last year, and I've done a couple reactions. I went out and got their album when it came out. The album's called Persistence. It came out, I believe, it was either the end of August or early September, and I've been playing it ever since. It's definitely in my, top of albums of the year. And so it was really, really cool to be able to, reach out to Nicol, see if she would do an interview, and, here we are. So very exciting. And once again, it's just so cool that, doing this, and you guys, like I said, it's all allowed for me to be able to live out a dream of talking to various bands, and I just think it's so cool. And once again, I cannot thank you guys enough for this. So without further ado, let's just go get right into it. This is the interview I did with Nicol from Stellvris. Hey Nicol, how are you doing today?
Hello, doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. It's very, very exciting because you guys literally have one of my top albums of 2023 in Persistence.
Thank you.
I listen to it all the time. It's the best. I also wanted to give you a shout out for your social media. You recently did an avatar from your car,
Yeah.
and I thought that was genius. And it
Thank
was so
you.
funny. It was so funny to me because you always have this smile on your face. You always seem very, just sweet and innocent. And as you're driving down the street, I'm sure somebody next to you was probably like, oh, she must be, listening to some pop song and whatever. And you're in there growling. It was the greatest thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. This was like, I don't know actually how this idea came into my mind. I don't know, but it's like, I don't know. I was like thinking about doing something different and something that like people could actually hear me, not on like in a studio or no, like any mix on my voice, like just a raw
mhm.
voice, raw scream. So that's why I did it, and actually I did the whole album. So I'm going
Mhm.
to release everything. So
It's
just
awesome. It
in the
sounded great, and once again, if I can get it, I'll get a link and I'll put it in the description. People
Thank you.
definitely need to see it because it was, to me, it just made my day. It was so great to see because I wish more people would do stuff like that because I always wondered, do performers, I'm sure everybody sings in the car, but it's just the idea of like the growling and all of that is so great. If I could pull it off, I would do it. But
No, thank you very much that you're saying this, because I wasn't sure if I can release it, and I was a bit afraid because I don't look like, like I can't control my face properly when I'm singing, because it's like
mm,
full emotions, and if you want to have your screams and growls sound like this, then you have
mm,
to look sometimes funny,
yeah,
especially when you're doing gutturals or something like that, because that is just like something
yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, no, it was great. It was just so cool. So thank you for that.
thank you.
So when did you start getting into metal? Like at an early age, or has it been more recent? How did that happen for you?
Yeah, well, my dad is a metalhead, so he was listening to metal music, and I've been listening to metal music since I was a child. But my mom tried to push me to like listen to pop music or something like that, because she wished to
Mhm.
be like cute little princess at home, and she got me. So
And
yeah,
you
I
went straight
tried.
up
I
like
tried. So. But yeah, but like I think that I came back into metal music like really when I was at high school. I think we had some kind of like a pop metal band, and we were playing only covers and stuff like that. So I started to
Hmm.
listen to metal music, and then when I was studying university, and I was in my third grade, it was like the toughest exams, from the
Hmm.
whole studies. And I was searching for some heavier music to listen to calm me down. And like many metalheads like know what I'm
Hmm.
talking about, because if you're mad, if you're sad or something, then you listen to heavier and heavier music. And that was the time when I discovered Arch Enemy. And when I heard her and when I saw her, it was like, this is something I have to know, like how to scream, how to growl, and that's how it started with
That's it.
War Eternal.
That is so cool. That so I'm actually and part of my channel is I'm relatively new to the world. Like I grew up with American metal, but a lot of the stuff around the world I never paid attention to. And so I recently just got into it, and Arch Enemy was my gateway. Literally, I saw Arch Enemy, and it wasn't War Eternal, but I actually saw the Nita Strauss Elisa video for The Wolf That You Feed, and I was like, who is this person? And then I went and
Yeah.
checked it out, and Deceivers was the first album that I checked out, and it just blossomed from there. So it's really cool that we have the same gateway,
Yeah.
I'd say.
So you
But
understand.
yes, so that's awesome. Have you met Elisa or anybody since she was your kind of introduction?
Yeah, I've met Alisa and whole arch enemy in Slovakia on Top
Hmm.
Fest. And they weren't actually playing that day because there were some kind of problems, I don't know, and they didn't allow to perform Arch Enemy. And also, oh, what was the band? Fuck. It's like Vikings.
Like Amon Amarth?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, fuck, I can see
Yeah.
them, in front
All
of
you
me,
have to
but
say
I
is
couldn't.
Vikings.
Yeah, yeah, these are the guys. So they also didn't perform, but for me,
Hmm.
like, also, like, of course, I looked forward to see them, from the
Hmm.
backstage, because I only see them when
Yeah.
I was in a crowd, and now I could see them, at the stage. I could be them
Hmm.
like so close to them, but they
Yeah.
didn't perform. And but still I found them and I talked to them. I talked to Alisa, and I talked
Hmm.
to the whole band, Michael, and what we were talking about our music and stuff. And I was like, I can't explain it. I felt like I'm dreaming, because
Yeah.
like, if you meet somebody who made you to listen to this kind of music and who made
Hmm.
you to learn how to growl and scream, this is something you can describe. And from that day, of course, I was happy, like our gig was okay and like people
Hmm.
were happy and everything. But this day, I was blown away by Arch
Yeah.
Enemy. And then I talked to them and I took a picture with them. It was like,
That is so cool. Yeah, and I always wonder that too. Like when you meet your heroes or people that have inspired
yeah.
you, they always say never meet your heroes because they'll always like somehow let you down. But it sounds like it was a good experience.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with Arch Enemy, it was not like that at all, because they were
Hmm.
so nice and so kind, and I was surprised, because they're like a huge, huge band,
Oh
and
yeah.
still they are so nice and kind. And yeah, and so are like Ginger, for example, because these
Yeah.
guys are like another idols, for me.
Hmm.
And when I heard for the first time when I heard Tatiana, it was when they were on tour with Arch Enemy. And
Hmm.
I was there like in Prague on some concert, like on Arch Enemy, and they were like the band before them. I didn't know them, and then I was like, when she started to growl,
Hmm.
then that was the time I was like, okay, I have to like know how to grow like real deep. And
Hmm.
now I think that I found like my own voice, that I'm not like
Hmm.
doing anything like Alisa or Tatiana, because I can't like I can never sound like them because they have a unique
Yes.
voice, beautiful and powerful. But I'm glad that I found their music and that these guys like were like, as you said, gateway for metal music, for
Hmm.
harder metal music.
Yeah, and I can't wait. I actually have meet and greet passes with the Arch Enemy in London in October, so I'm very excited. So thank you. And at least I know they're cool up front. And
They
but
are.
I noticed the one thing with your voice, what I loved about it, the first time I heard it is there a lot of people go from the clean to just the gutturals, and you have a like almost like a mid range as well. Jonathan Davis from Korn type of vibe where and I love it. And same with like it's got a little bit of like In Flames as Anders from In Flames as
Mhm.
well. And
Mhm.
so it's really cool that you have like it's almost like three different levels of aggression for lack of better terms. And so I love that aspect to it. Um the other thing I found out about you, and you're a lawyer? Are you still a lawyer? That is
Well, I quit this career at the end
okay.
of last year because
Hmm.
I decided to like put all my energy into music and everything. And so I moved out from my flat,
Hmm.
and I moved into a small house. We were currently
Hmm.
in this house, but it's not ready yet. So
Hmm.
it's just like we're slowly getting ready everything. But there's internet, so this is something very
That's a plus.
important. So
Yes, it
and also
definitely
I want
helps.
to be able to record my vocals and stuff like this
Hmm.
here. So yeah, so I decided to put all my energy into music and into Stellaris, and also maybe in some other project that I will start. Let's
Hmm.
see. So I used to be a lawyer,
Hmm.
and
I just
now
think with that background, the lawyer background has to be scary for anybody who's going to give you a contract or anything like that, because you're going to be the person that's like, nope,
hmm,
I'm not
exactly.
accepting that. And so,
Yeah, that's the problem, like, yeah, with lawyers, because like every time any lawyer reads any agreement, like we always find like something, and
hmm.
we all always like see the consequences that like normal people like don't see. But I
Hmm.
don't think that labels or anybody like should be afraid, because this is something we need, and also I totally understand that they have to have some like agreements that are protecting them, because they are giving like
Hmm.
money to the band.
Oh,
So
sure.
it's obvious, like, and I understand it, but yeah,
Hmm.
this
No,
is
I
something
thought it
that.
was the coolest. I thought it was the coolest thing when I heard that. I was like, that is fantastic. I was just thinking like this like superhero. I'm like lawyer by day, rock star by night, and then like
I'm not rockstar, but thank you.
but then how like when you go into work one day the people next to you are just like I saw you growling the other day.
Yeah,
you
but
know
actually, because I found like a job here, and I'm working in music data, which is like music data, and
Hmm.
they are like selling music instruments and everything. So I look forward to try all their microphones and pick the right one. So I
That's
started to work there, and like on the corridor, I met one guy, and he was like, "Okay, and who are you?" And like, "Oh, you're working here. You're new in here." And we started to talk about started to talk about music, and he was talking about metal music. I was like, yeah, I have a band, and he was like, okay, which one? And I told him like Stellaris, and he was like, this is you, because I was wearing glasses, I was
yeah.
like have my hair tied in a ponytail,
Hmm.
and I was so nice and sweet,
Hmm.
so he didn't like he didn't recognize me.
That's awesome. So and I was you said it right earlier where like you have like metal music to calm you down. Everybody tells me I'm so laid back. They're just like, how are you so laid back and patient? I'm like, you should hear what's going on in my earbuds. With the really really heavy aggression. Where does that aggression come from you? Like I said, everything you just seem so very friendly and happy go lucky, and then there's you listen to Avatar, you listen to who's the target now, all of that stuff, and
Uh,
like,
yeah, the like that's the thing because I'm smiling and like like I try to be like okay when I'm talking to people, when I talk to our fans and everything, but underneath it's not that okay, with me.
hmm
And if you went through our lyrics, then you could find burnout, which is like about burnout, and I went through it
yeah,
like 2022. And before that, I struggled with some depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And these shits is like getting back sometimes. So
hmm
sometimes I don't feel good. And also I'm very how to say it. I think that like I find the anger and the energy from my personality because I'm very impulsive and when I write lyrics, I'm always writing about something which is very strong, like leaded by strong emotions. Because I know that when I go back on the stage, and I'm always getting
hmm
back to these memories and everything, then I can express them like that much because it's like coming from me, it's coming from my heart,
hmm
and that's why like this. So I'm not that like
yeah.
nice and sweet all the time.
It's just like, and so that's the one thing I've always wanted to be like friends with somebody who writes music, and especially aggressive music, because there's a part of me that goes, I want to be a song. Like, and I don't know, it's whether you poke the bear and make them angry to create a song about you, or is it, so I'm do your friends and family like, do they end up in songs, or or
Family
or
and
do
yeah.
they try to get in songs?
No, they like my parents, they actually performed in our music video for Letting Go. You can see them at the end where I can like,
Mhm,
when I just running from the house and I'm hugging them. So these are my
mhm,
parents. And so I wrote lyrics about them because we decided to have some small kind of like pop music or something like that.
mhm,
It's not pop music, pop song. And I was wondering about like what can I write about because I can't write about like nice feelings. It's easier for me to like write about something more sad, more aggressive, more like you know.
just
So I didn't know what to do with this song, and I
yeah,
decided to dedicate the lyrics to my parents because I love them. They're
mhm,
awesome. And even though I decided to put all my energy into music and not to be a lawyer, they still support me. So I
mhm,
really appreciate them. So I decided to do this. And I have to say that after we released Letting Go, um,
mhm.
like some of our fans wrote me a message and they said that like, oh my god, I was crying and this lyrics, this song made me to call my mom or my dad.
Wow,
So this
that's
is something
awesome.
like it has a huge impact on people also.
Mhm. That's fantastic. So when you write, do you write with the music first and then lyrics, or do you do the lyrics first and then how does the music happen, I guess,
It,
outside of that?
it depends. It depends. Sometimes I have like lyrics, but it's more like a story because you don't have music to uh, like if you don't have the music first, I'm just like writing some ideas, some story, something like that because I always start with like I have to know what I'm going to say with this song, and this is the first idea. Like if I want to say like fuck you bullies and go fuck yourself, then this is like the topic and this is like where this song should go, and then I'm
Mhm,
starting to write the story. And then, like if it's like that, uh, JT, our guitarist, sent me some demo, and then I start to write actually the song, and I'm
mhm,
rewriting a bit the lyrics. Sometimes it's like it fits, sometimes it doesn't. So it's
mhm,
like that. And when it's not like this, that I have first lyrics, then JT also like send me the demo. And but it's always like okay, we're going to do something. For example, Scorpio, we're going to do
mhm,
something weird, creepy, and I want to use this some kind of voice. where you can hear it.
That's
This is amazing. And I was like, okay, so
love it.
you should listen to corn music or something like that and inspire, get inspired by them. And he did it, and when I heard it, was like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And I decided to write about my like zodiac sign, Scorpio,
Hmm.
and I think like it went great. I love the song.
That is awesome. It actually segues into one of my, I guess I'd say one of my viewers. I'd say friend of my channel. Her name is Veronica. She is a huge fan of you guys, and she's the reason why I even reacted to you guys.
Oh,
Because all of my reactions come from the listeners and the viewers, and so I don't procure anything. They literally just say check this out. And so Veronica was a big fan of you guys, or is a bit super fan of you guys. And so I reached out to her to see if she had any questions. And so she did have a question about Scorpio, and you did touch on it, but I'm just going to read it out. It says, "Your single Scorpio is based on your zodiac sign. Do you believe in astrology?"
I do. I do. I might look like a weirdo, but I really do, because when you go through um, like as the specific I don't know, things about Scorpio, and when you read them out, then you will like find out like everything about me, and
Hmm.
I really believe in it. Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't know anything about. I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about it. But we're next door neighbors as far as the zodiac sign goes. So I'm November 27th, which is a Sagittarius. So like, some people go, "Oh, I can't talk to these people. They're Libras or Cancers or whatever." What is there any correlation between Scorpios and Sagittariuses?
Well, this is something I don't know, because I like the zodiac signs, like to know something about them. But
Oh,
I'm
okay.
more like into Scorpio, because when
Mm,
I like grew up, and I was like, how to say it, I struggled with my personality. I wanted to know more about like why I feel like this, why I act
mm-hmm.
like that. And
Ah,
like
okay.
then I learned more about Scorpio, and then I've learned that like Scorpio, for example, has like I don't know if it's 5 stages or something like that. When you're like furious at the beginning, like crazy as fuck, and then you
Mm-hmm.
grow up, and if you want to like work on yourself, then it's good,
Mm-hmm.
because then you can like go up and up in stages, and you actually learn how to work with you, and how to work with your dark emotions and stuff, and use
Okay.
them into something good. So I'm like writing lyrics.
Yeah. No, no, that makes sense. I mean, I need to go back and look at the Sagittarius and find out more about me and say,
Sure.
"Oh, okay."
It helps.
Because yeah, I always found that weird because people are always like, "Oh, we're gonna get along great because you're a whatever versus what I am." Okay. I I have never studied it or never paid attention to it. So she had a second part of her question. Um, and she said, also, you've played some shows with Ginger in 2023, which got me thinking about their hit Pisces based on Tatiana's sign, and the parallel between the two. Was this coincidental, or did the song inspire you to then create Scorpio?
Well, actually, I of course I knew that she wrote Pisces, and I
Hmm.
love this song. But I was like thinking about doing something about my like zodiac sign. I think way before this, and when
Hmm.
I heard the song, I was like, okay, why not? And also, I've
Yeah.
heard, and I can't remember the name of the band, but they also wrote the lyrics about some zodiac sign. And when I saw
Hmm.
this, I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it, because this is cool.
Absolutely.
But of course,
Yeah.
some people wrote me, you're copying Ginger.
They sound nothing alike. I love both of the songs, and they sound nothing alike. So there's not a matter. It for me, it's not a matter of, oh, they did this, so let me copy it. It has for me, they don't even sound remotely similar. So, yeah. So I just think it is fascinating to see. But that was Veronica's questions about Scorpio. And so, anyway, now for some really fun stuff. So when you recorded, when Persistence came out, you guys went on a European tour. If I'm correct, it was like the first European tour for you guys. How did that go? How was it?
Just crazy. We looked forward to go on tour, and as we are not signed under any label and under any booking agent, then our manager had to like somehow make it happen, and
Mm-hmm.
so he did, and we're grateful
Mm-hmm.
for that. It's like amazing. And he's running, by the way, a festival here in Czech Republic. It's called Fight Fest, and I think you
Okay.
will like it because if you like our music and modern metal,
Mm-hmm.
then you would like love it here. Check
Awesome.
it out. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
So he
It,
made it, and we went there, and it was amazing. And like for me, it was like the first experience to sing like many days in a row. And I was afraid of my voice like a lot, so I took so many stuff with me, and I was doing some like rituals, to like really be, focus on
mm-hmm.
to be good, not to talk that much, and always have my voice like this, so I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
damaging it, and sleep enough, and not
Mm-hmm.
to be like, always have a scarf, so I'm not cold, and it was just crazy, but I loved it. I loved it so much because like every single day I was doing something that I love, and I
Mm-hmm.
could sleep till like 10 o'clock. And then I could sleep again in the van when we like, went to another
Mm-hmm.
city. So I loved it. I loved it. And I look forward to go on another tour this year. And hopefully it will happen this autumn. We'll go on tour in Germany and then
Mm-hmm.
in UK. So if this happen, it's like fingers crossed that they
Mm-hmm.
can make it and enjoy it
That would
again.
be awesome. I gotta find out when the German tour dates are. I'm actually going to be in Germany at the end of November.
Really?
That would, yeah, that would be cool.
But we are going to be there in November, I guess. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that
I
would,
have to write you the dates.
yeah. Let me know the dates because that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Um, it's very rare that I ever go to Europe, and for some
Wow.
reason, for some reason, I'm going to London in October and in Germany in November.
We're
It's
going to,
more the
I
end
think
of
it will be
November.
October. It's October that we are going to be in UK and
Yes,
November
for
in
arch
Germany.
enemy,
But
and
I
yes,
have to like,
we'll
tell you
figure it out.
later. I have to check out the dates.
Yes, but that would be really cool. So when I think about if I were on tour, I would think about all the fun things and all that kind of stuff. Was there something that you learned on tour that you never thought of? Like what whether it be a good thing or a bad thing as far as touring goes? Like something you didn't know was going to happen but happened?
I think that I've learned that I don't have to be worried that much about my voice. That when
Okay.
I'm okay in my head and when I have
Hmm.
enough sleep, then it's okay and everything is working. And oh, maybe bring some more food with me, like mine, because it
Hmm.
happened in one concert that we had a dinner, and I told them that I'm vegan and I
Hmm.
can't have anything with milk because I'm intolerant, and I
Hmm.
could like end up very bad if I eat anything with milk,
Hmm.
and they like put
Didn't
something
pay
in it with
attention.
milk.
Yeah.
It was disaster. It was so
Mm.
like I had a huge belly. It hurt as
Hmm.
hell, and I
Yeah.
was like my head was like shaking, and this happened before the show,
Hmm.
and I
Oh
didn't know what to
wow.
do like at all. So I have to figure out
Yeah.
maybe some pills that would help
Hmm.
me to somehow like overcome this situation because I had nothing, and I
Hmm.
thought that like if we are writing like everywhere I'm vegan, I can't eat anything with like animal products,
Hmm.
but uh, it happened, and I did my best to do the show. I wasn't like
Hmm.
moving that much. I just tried to sing it. I try to survive and I try to
Yeah.
give them some energy, at least something. And still,
Hmm.
the people like came to our merchandise table and told me like, "Oh, it was so amazing." I was like,
Yeah.
"Really?
You're like, I'm dying.
I'm dying. I'm literally dying here."
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Like
So pill
that's
and my food.
hmm okay. Yeah, because that was one of the questions is what's a must that you have to have on tour now? Like, you know,
All the pills,
the other
anything that can happen to you. And food.
yes, awesome. And because I always think about food too. Like I'm a food like for me it's more junk food and I but everywhere I travel I'm always looking for what food could I check out at this particular location. um did you do anything like that or was it you just because vegan since I'm not a vegan I don't really know it maybe it doesn't feel as cool as far as like finding new foods
No,
but
no.
or is it the opposite.
Yeah, I love to discover like a traditional cuisine in every single country we
Mm.
are at, and also like there are so many vegan restaurants. So, for example, when we were in Italy, I told guys we need to find some restaurant where they're doing vegan pizza. We found it,
Oh yes.
and it was so delicious. So amazing. We ate it and it was like so rich and everything. So I didn't have to
Hmm.
eat for like a couple hours because it was so huge. But also I had to like think about if I can eat it because I was like, okay, so what I'm going to wear tonight, because if it's crop top, I
Hmm.
can't eat it. I can't eat it. If it's not crop
Yeah.
top, I can like allow myself to eat something like that.
Okay, so you have to schedule outfits around the food.
Also, yeah, yeah. When I'm
Yeah,
like,
I feel like I would
wearing
do the
something
same
very
thing.
tight or crop tops, I'm not eating
Hmm.
that much. I eat after the show, but before that, no,
Hmm.
it's more like a fruit. It's more like something that gives you energy, but
Hmm.
it's like what is not going to this
Hmm.
feeling.
Yeah, I saw one performance on YouTube that I thought was so interesting, and it felt like it was at a festival, and you got into the pit, like you went out into the pit, and I'm like, that is awesome. Like, is it like when you're in the mood, you're in the middle of it, you just I'm just going for it, or like what goes through your head when you think about that stuff? Is like this could be really dangerous because I'm performing, but
It
also.
it can, and like sometimes I was hit in like in my head or body when I went
Hmm.
to the pit, but this is like you have to know, the risk. But I
Yeah.
love it, and when the time is right, and when I feel that the crowd is ready to mosh pit and to do something like that, then I go to the mosh pit and I'm like running with them, and it's so
Hmm.
amazing. And also, it's like I'm also checking my body, if it's working, because when you
Yeah.
run and you scream, then you know if
Mhm.
you are like fit or if you're not, and that you like, the next day you have to go run because you're not
Yeah.
in a shape. But I love this, and I also love stage diving. Then when I jump on the
Hmm.
people and they're holding me, this is
Yeah.
also super crazy. But this is something
Like
like
no.
I'm thinking about it at the time when I'm on the stage. If it's
Hmm.
the right time, if the crowd is
Hmm.
ready for this, because when it's not, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So it's just finding that right vibe. Because I always wonder, like, what goes through your head when you're performing. Because I would be like, I got to remember the lyrics. I got to remember, whatever the vibe that I'm trying to, let alone having to pay attention to the rest of the crowd,
Well, that's
you
the
know.
thing that I'm singing almost every day, and we like train for those shows, so like so like like a lot to have it like memorized, that you like, for example, me, I have to have the lyrics in my head, the melodies and everything, and also we are like have the like a choreography. We know what
Hmm.
to do at the specific time of each song. And when like besides these things, there's like a freestyle, so you're free to do like anything, but in certain time, in certain lyrics, you just jump
Hmm.
on the agorizer, or I don't know, kick or jump or something like that. And when you
Hmm.
memorize this, then it's something like you have your mind is like free, and then you can focus on the people, you can focus on like what's the audience, because if you're
Hmm.
at the death metal, for example, event, then you know that these people don't mosh that much, they don't do mosh pits that much. But when you're on, for example, some kind of like metalcore event, then you know that they're doing like everything, so you can just
Hmm.
go there and be there. But it's also like, I don't know, one or two songs I'm analyzing. Every single time I'm analyzing the people who are there, and how
Hmm.
can I talk to them? Because when there are children, I'm trying to not swear that much, because I don't
Hmm.
want them to hear me, you motherfuckers, go to the
Yeah,
bed, something like that. I'm not
that's my inspiration.
exactly. So I'm trying to like somehow, or just like look at the parents. I was like, okay, I'm going to swear a bit, so you can just do this to
Yeah,
your
earmuffs.
children.
That's awesome. No, that is so cool. I think I've covered that. We've got vocal preparation. We've got like, um, the, I will say the name, Stellaris. I know there was another band that had the name, which is why you guys switched to the. It looks like a V almost, like move the A upside down. Um, are they? Can we get rid of them? Can we get rid of that other band so we can just say Stellaris?
Um,
No.
yeah, that's the thing, because when we came up with this name, then we found out that there's a game, with this name. So it was like the
Uh,
first problem. And then we found
mhm,
these guys, and we actually tried to reach them, because like, hey guys, but we started to run our Facebook page and everything before you, so you could like search
mhm.
and like change your name. And their
Yeah.
manager told us, okay, we will do it, but you have to pay us.
Oh, that's not.
Like, really? So
Yeah.
yeah, we just like, like, okay,
Hmm.
let's just change our name, because it's also easier when you have Stellaris with V instead of
Hmm.
A, because then you can search for like straight for us, and not to
Hmm.
see any pages with the game or these guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would love to get rid of them, but
Yeah, no, I love the V. Like I would say that's a great move, and I think it looks cooler. So I'm a big fan of that.
thank you.
The only thing that it throws me off is I have those devices around my house that if you say the name and ask for music to be played, when I say Stellaris, it gives me something else. It gives me something else, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing when you come up with this such kind of name, you know.
mhm. Yeah, well, you guys hopefully will, drown them out as far as like you guys' success because I personally love your music,
Thank you.
and I'm so thankful that Veronica turned me on to your music, and I really do. I listen to Persistence at the gym. Just that intro with Avatar, just you know, get you all ready to go, and so it's fantastic.
Thank
So.
you very much.
Thank you guys. So what's next? What's next for you guys? I know there's some festival shows, autumn tour.
Yeah, we're getting like ready. I sent our graphic the date, so we're going to release them next week. Hopefully, the whole days we have for this year, and hopefully there will be more of them. And there will be, we know that, but it's not confirmed yet, or it's not confirmed like officially, so we can't,
Hmm.
say it loud, but we will add it. So what's next? So this is next, and also we're up to write new music and new album. So now we have to come up with the idea how will this new
Hmm.
album sound, and what should be there, and what influences should be there, because it shouldn't be like Persistence.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, we love it, but this is something which is actually already done, so we now have to
Hmm.
figure out something new.
Evolve from that. Hopefully, in part of the new, or at least the future, is coming to America for a couple shows at least? That would be
We would
cool.
love to. We would love to. But how can we make it when we don't have label and booking agent?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we'll get you a label so that way you guys can come here because
Yeah, we have.
I s-
We have to
I saw
propose.
that you were doing a festival when POD was on, and I love POD. I've seen them so many times, and I'm like,
Actually,
man,
yeah,
they should
we are
bring
not
you.
going to perform there. It's Fight Fest.
Oh, you're not?
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no. It's Fight Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Oh,
Like we shared it because our manager is running this festival, and
yes.
yeah, so POD is going to be headliner, and I look forward
Hmm.
to hear them.
Yeah, I think I'm telling you, I'm going to say this here, and hopefully all of my listeners or viewers can relay this message because I think you guys with POD would be amazing. Like a tour package, come to America.
I think
I'll
so,
be
and I
there right up
also
front.
think that these guys have to be so nice and so
Oh,
kind. They look like they're like nice person. So
they they did one of the best shows that I've ever been to. It was really interesting. It was after their huge success in the early 2000s, and it was I want to say it might have been about 10 years ago now. And I feel like it might have been a bad booking for them because it was in a really, really small room,
hmm
and they had just come off like a European tour or a South America tour, something like that. And this was just so small. And they just came out like there wasn't even a green room. I think they were in the parking lot and then came in,
okay.
and it didn't phase them whatsoever. And, Sonny was just like, I haven't played a room like this in a long time, but we're just going to kill it. And best show I've ever seen. It was so great
Yeah,
just because it didn't matter to them,
yeah.
big, small.
But this is amazing because when you see those bands when they simply don't care if they play
Yeah.
huge shows or if they're playing on some parking spot, this
Hmm.
is amazing, and this is something which I admire about bands, like being
Hmm.
this, kind and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And so we need to make this happen. I'm gonna we gotta Veronica, you're on. You're paying attention to this. She's a great PR person. So yeah, we need to get somehow you guys with the POD. We need a POD Stellaris tour in America. We're gonna make this happen.
That would be perfect. So maybe you should come to Czech Republic,
Mm.
to see Fight Fest and to see POD in there, and then talk to them and say like, "Do you know this band?"
That would be awesome. Yeah, we should just get a campaign. I think anybody who's watching this should reach out to POD and say, "Watch this video. Let's make this happen." It should be easy, you know.
It should be, but
It should be. So, but anyway, it once again, I can't thank you enough for sitting down with me, but also persistence. It's been a big part of my life since it came out. I've listened to it so many times, and so thank you for that, and definitely keep doing those car videos. I think
don't worry.
fantastic. Fantastic. It really just, like I said, it made my day just seeing that, because I just kept thinking about all the people driving by have to assume, and they're so wrong, based on the growls. But anyway, thank you so much for sitting down with me, and just nothing but good luck to you guys in the future.
No, thank you. Thank you very much for taking time and for wanting me to be here and do the interview with you because it's simply amazing and you're really nice. And it was
Well,
so
thank you.
nice to meet you, at least like this,
Thank you.
and in person later on Fight Fest
Yes,
or in Germany.
yes, in either Fight Fest, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, one of the two will
Exactly.
somehow meet up.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you very much. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you really enjoyed it, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, notifications, all of that good stuff. Also, please go out and support Stellvris. They're a great band. They absolutely deserve all the support they can get. With that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.